Hello and welcome back to another video. I was recently asked about how I thought my asexuality affected my expression of gender and my masculinity. And I was completely stumped by this question. And it wasn't until I had some time to think about it afterwards that I kind of realized why. I kind of wanted to talk about it because I haven't talked about my own gender much on this channel, and I'll get into why I haven't. And I thought it'd be an interesting topic to cover because you can kind of see some intersectionality with asexuality through the lens of gender. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing a quick video on that. Hope you enjoy it. And also, if you want a video which is funnier, more coherent, and more interesting than this one, then go check out the video Elliot did for my channel for Ace Awareness Week, where he talked about this exact topic, but better thought out. Getting back to that question, I think the reason why I had such a difficult time answering it is because while I have considered gender externally, as in I have been trying to educate myself about trans issues and of a trans and non-binary experience by watching YouTubers, for example. I haven't really considered that for myself because, and I can say this with almost 100% certainty, I am very comfortable identifying as a cis guy, and I have never had any doubt in my mind that I am the gender I was assigned at birth, and I'm very fortunate in that way. But I think it's interesting to see the amount of people in the ace community who are gender non-conforming or non-binary or just trans. I believe, I can't remember the figures off the top of my head, but I believe from previous ace censuses, there's a higher prevalence of trans and non-binary people within the ace community than there are outside. Now, this could be because you already got one queer group, so it's more likely to have other queer identities within that space. But it could also be that asexuality in some way, whether that be because of society or something internal, does affect your expression and understanding of your own gender identity. So I guess, what do I mean in saying that I am perfectly comfortable being a cis guy? I don't know, to be honest. Like, I guess in terms of aesthetics, because a big part of it is the way you present yourself, I prefer more masculine qualities, both in myself and in the people I'm attracted to. For example, I do work out sometimes. Don't know if you noticed. No offense taken if you didn't. I'm trying to build a physique which is more masculine because I prefer that aesthetic. And the clothes that I choose to wear, they're not like outrageously masculine, but I'm more comfortable in that than something which is more androgynous or feminine, in quotes, because clothes don't have genders. And part of that is because it's what I'm uncomfortable in, it's what I prefer. And part of that is that the society kind of pressures me into doing so, and I'm in more of a comfort zone wearing clothes which conform with my gender identity. Because if there wasn't that societal pressure here, I would definitely wear cloaks. Cloaks look cool, so that's still, I guess, quite masculine. I don't know. But yeah, and then I guess in terms of my appearance, not in terms of clothes, I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm super masculine in the way that I like present my face. My hair just tends to be quite short and I spike it up, which I guess is quite male. It's difficult because these categories that we put everyone in, like, this is the masculine attributes of someone and these are the feminine attributes of someone, aren't really, they're not They don't make any sense. They're just arbitrary categories, really. To me, dresses and skirts make more sense for men just because of their anatomy down there. I'll leave it at that. But then they're pretty much exclusively a female and feminine clothing item, unless you count kilts. I don't, as you can tell, I try to avoid having a beard. I just don't like it. It's uncomfortable. But there are plenty of men who are clean shaven. And I don't put makeup on my face, which I guess is not being feminine, but then I have no interest in that. Like, anything that's a body modification in that sense, tattoos, piercings, makeup, I just don't like on myself. And that's not to say I don't like them in general. They can be pretty cool. I don't know, I've got a bit rambly, I'm sorry. So I guess in terms of aesthetics, whether that be clothes or physical appearance, I definitely lean more on the masculine side, but I'm not purposefully trying to, if that makes sense. That's just where my preferences lie. And I guess that's kind of what one aspect of gender identity is. And then I guess the other point of discussion in terms of gender is how you behave, your actions, and how society perceives those actions or interests as masculine or feminine. And funnily, I probably don't swing masculine on this side, because that would be sports and alcohol and what else do men do? Manly things, hitting things with hammers. I don't know. I'm an engineer, so I guess that covers the hit things with hammers. I don't think I've had to use a hammer yet. But I'm not a very sporty person. And I love cooking. Cooking is an activity that I really enjoy, and that is, I would say, typically seen as a more feminine activity role. I know my mum got a load of comments being very surprised about me and my brother, who also cooks quite often, being able to cook. Oh, I'm very surprised by this because they are male. How do they cook? It's the same way that women cook. I mean, it's not, there isn't some weird appendage that women have so they can cook. At least I don't think so. I've watched women cook and they've never had a frying pan materialize out of their stomach. But yeah, and I guess all these aspects together explain my gender identity. It's difficult because it's not something I think about because it's something I'm comfortable with and it's something that I've always known. I imagine it's the same as being straight. If I was straight, I would never think about being straight because the majority of people are straight. So it forces you to kind of analyze yourself and your behavior and why you're doing things and why you're presenting yourself the way you are, to be able to dig into those things and discuss them and kind of take a step back, look at how you identify and why you identify that way. Is it because of society? Is it because that's the way you're comfortable? Is that because it's your gender identity? And if you're not used to doing that because you conform naturally, then I imagine that can be, it just doesn't come up. So you don't think about it. And that's why this is such unexplored territory for me. And I have been trying to think about it more recently, because I don't want to be doing things because I'm expected to do them. I want to be doing things because I want to do them, right? But at the same time, I'm not a very confident person. I prefer to stay in my comfort zone wherever possible, and part of that is being subtle, outwardly portraying myself as normal, I suppose. I don't like to draw attention to myself. If I did, for example, want to try some item of clothing on which was less masculine, more androgynous, even more feminine, then that would take a lot for me to do. And I guess because of that, I don't consider it as much. But it wouldn't be something that I'm necessarily against. If there was something that I really wanted to do, I really wanted to try out doing this thing which society considers as feminine, then I probably would do it after a
time of like self-reflection and kind of weighing up how that would affect me mentally, emotionally, and all that. And I think that, and I hope that I'm aware enough of myself and what I want and what I feel to say that I am comfortable identifying as male. And I'm not being held back because of a fear of a lack of acceptance by society at large. But yeah, I know that was a bit rambly. If you want a more succinct and interesting and better put video, once again, I'll put a link in the description for Elliot's video on a similar / analogous / identical topic. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I watched it, but it's pretty much the same thing, exploring how his gender has intersected and been affected by his asexuality. I suppose I didn't really talk about how asexuality affects it, how my asexuality affects my gender identity. So if that's something you want me to go into in a later video, then do let me know. It's something I probably need to put some more thoughts into, because while I have been considering my gender identity, I haven't been considering that necessarily in conjunction with my sexuality and how the two interact and affect each other. But yeah, if you have anything to say on the topic, leave it down in the comments below. I'd be interested to know if you think that your gender identity intersects with asexuality at all. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. I post videos every Saturday, so if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. That is all I have to say today. Have a wonderful day, and I shall see you next time.
Once again, rambling. Can you tell I didn't make any notes? More masculine, let's say. What am I saying? Can you just like swish them? Like, as you exit the room, just turn around and